Hey there, it's Chris again, and I do layman tech reviews on digital accessories, especially camera gadgets, and also anything that makes my life easier as a parent of 3 young kids. For today, I just want to confess something. I have horrible gas syndrome, gear acquiring syndrome. Ever since I made my video on the Ricoh GR3X, and the reason why I got that was primarily because of the snap focus function, the ability to do zone focusing at a preset distance. And why I like about that is because I can just snap without even worrying about whether the camera will get things in, would do the autofocus, because the Ricoh GR3X autofocus is kind of slow if the lighting conditions are not so ideal. Bright sunlight, yeah, it's probably going to be good, but in shadowy area, low light area, or even indoors, the autofocus tends to take a little bit more effort to hunt and to get that right focus. So I decided that maybe if I were to get into street photography, it's always best to learn how to do zone focusing, to be able to gauge the distance of the object that I would like to snap pictures of, make sure that they are in focus, and make sure that the aperture is enough to capture a distance that would be, between 2 to 5 meters. So that's pretty neat. And then I was, because of my gas syndrome, I was researching more into what other cameras that would look good and also take good pictures of the streets. I have the Panasonic Lumix GX9. That's the nice Micro Four Third rangefinder-like camera. It's all black. Right, it's same all black like the Ricoh. I've got the Fuji X100V, also all black, same like the Ricoh. I've got the Fuji X70, which is a very nice camera, small and slim, APS-C side sensor. It has a very wider lens though. It has I think a 23mm lens, right, in a 35mm equivalent roll. That's pretty nice. It's black body, silver top, so aesthetically it's very pleasing to look at. But it is also small. I think the grip is pretty alright, nice to hold. But it makes a lot of sound when it tries to autofocus. So that annoys the heck out of me. And then I also have the Fuji X30. Recently got it cheap, right, $450. That one is actually quite nice, but it is a small sensor, so don't expect to take pictures as with great IQ like the Fuji X100V or the X70 or even the Ricoh GR3X. Aesthetically very nice to look at, chunky enough for you to feel good holding it, so that's pretty nice, but the image quality is not as great. I got the black and silver version, so it looks pretty nice. So anyway, because of my gas syndrome, I was researching more into what camera that would look sexy, good enough to hold and take great pictures. So Micro Four Third seems to fit the bill. So I was researching more about that models in that range. I was looking at Panasonic. I think the smallest one that you can get is the GF series with the gimmicky, flip up screen mostly for vlogging or taking selfie portraits. I didn't really like the form factor because it's too small without a grip. And then there's the legendary GM1 and GM5 series, the smallest Micro Four Third ever made. I think probably be the smallest, mirrorless ever made, I think. They don't produce those series anymore. You can find it on eBay, but they are pretty expensive. More expensive than some of the newer models, even though they are used or secondhand. Now I was looking at the Olympus series, Olympus Pen series especially, because they are small enough. So the Pen has 3 main types of models. There's the EP series, which is the mainstream series, and then there's the EPL Lite series, sort of like mid-tier series of that, and then there is the EP Mini, EPM series, which is the smallest form factor and lowest range of the Pen models. EPM, too small. EP Lite, doesn't have a proper grip. EP, I think the latest version that came out it's called the EP7. I think it came out last year in 2020. A little bit over my price range, about $1,000. You can get a used one for the previous generation, EP5, I think, but that was released in 2013. Yeah, I have to re-record again because the camera somehow stopped recording. I don't know why. I need to go and figure out why. Anyway, the EP5, that was a previous generation of the EP7, the latest one. So EP5 was released, I think, in 2013. So that's already like 7-8 years technology. You can get it used for $200. But because such an old camera, I didn't really want to go for it. So I was researching more and more and more, and I was looking into the OMD series. OMD, I have the OMD E-M10 Mark II, pretty big, very nice hole, great for things like nature photography or macro photography, not really for street, it's too big. EM5 Mark III, the latest one was released in 2020. Again, that's pretty out of my reach, the $1,000. EM5 Mark II, that was released long ago, like 2015. 5 6 years ago, so I didn't really want that. E-M10, I originally had the first generation E-M10 Mark I way back in 2013, 2014 I think, and then I sold that off in the used market in 2017, and then I got the Lumix instead. So anyway, back to the OMD E-M10. I was researching about it, and I saw the E-M10 Mark IV. That was released last year also. Out of my reach, again, $1,000, 800 maybe, 900. What improvement did they do to the camera? I think IBIS wise is about the same. They improved video capabilities slightly, I suppose. They had a flip down screen, which puzzled me. Flip down screen for vlogging or vlogging. Alright if you would handhold it, but if you use a selfie stick, it would totally block the screen, so I'm not sure what's the point. It's the same like the Sony A6000 series where the screen flips up, but then you put in a microphone, then it will block the screen. So flip out the screen would be the best solution for vlogging, like the Sony ZV-1. Anyways, I digress. So back to the OMD E-M10. So that was a series I was heavily researching on because of my gas syndrome again, and I found a used one, and I found a used one for about $300, and that is this OMD E-M10 Mark III, released in the year of 2016, 2017, I believe, 2020, yeah, around that, 2016, 2017. So this is already a 4-year-old tech, 16 megapixel only. The current one is 20 megapixel. 16 megapixel, I think that's okay. I don't really care too much about megapixels because I don't print my photos anyways. It has great IBIS, 5-axis image stabilization. If you research on the internet, they say that it's better than the Mark II version. So I didn't want to get the Mark II. Mark II's and the Mark III's price in the secondary market, they're not pretty different. So might as well just get the Mark III. And I got this very excellent condition Mark III. And this camera is light enough, chunky enough, you know, put inside my bag and take it out. It is pretty basic as a entry-level enthusiast type camera. Just on, put into P, A, or M, or S mode. You can take great pictures. Lots of filters. Yes, pop art, bleach, great bleach process, black and white, dramatic, all sorts of different types of filters, which is good. But what I like about it is, yeah, it has a tilt up screen, so it's good if you want to take photos from your waist. It has an EVF in case it gets too bright and you take pictures using the viewfinder. Next thing I want to talk about is this lens. I got this lens separately, the Olympus 17mm 1.8. And why I got this specific one is because it's small enough. I mean, I was comparing this against the Panasonic 20mm, which I had and sold it off, and I regretted selling it off for a very low price. This is actually thicker than the Panasonic 20mm, but I say that this is quite small by itself. Not too much bigger than a 20mm, so this is good. 17mm lens equivalent in 35. That's about 35 millimeter. So that's Again, it stopped. Anyway, I want to talk to you about this manual clutch feature. Pull this down, boom, and then you see you're able to preset the distance where you want to focus. And let's say I moved it. Right now it's at 2 meters, and depending on the aperture, let's say it's f8, then you can see the zone of focus using this label on the lens itself. Pretty convenient. Don't want manual focus preset distance anymore, boom, it goes back to autofocus. And if you do set manual focus using the menu of the camera, you can still use the focusing ring to move. Move, and then if you want to go back to manual focus at a preset distance, boom, do that, and it's still at 2 meters. You see what I just did? Autofocus, change to manual focus using the menu system, move the focusing ring, want to go back to preset, 2 meters, boom, there you go. This is as convenient as you can get doing snap focus type-like capabilities of the Ricoh GR3X. So this is pretty neat. So I'm going to give this a try, see how it feels like, see how the image quality is like, and I'll let you guys know. All right, so thanks for listening to my guest syndrome. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up so that, and I'll make more of this if you like. Till then, take care and God bless.